Hello everyone, it's me again, Nancy Finch, doing Nancy Finch Nan Talks, and everyone knows that Nan can talk. Hi, welcome, and it's a beautiful day, and today's talk is going to be really good about not worrying. And how can we do that? Well, I made up a really good exercise called No Hole in My Boat, and so we're going to be talking about that today. Basically, last week I had Stop Complaining, which was really good. So if you want to catch up on that and have a listen to that and perhaps play with some of the ways that we can stop complaining and stop hurting our own immune system from doing that, then go to my website, which is www.nancyfinch.co.uk. And if you go there, you can listen to other Nan Talks I've done, which are really good, and it might be to help you. See, I'm always promoting those because they do help people, and I'm getting some lovely feedback from them. So, and also on YouTube, of course. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. I like saying that. Okay, so today's talk, we have got a little thing here, no hole in my boat. Now, if that's backwards to you, you can still sort of imagine it. I hope it isn't, but there we go. The main part of it is a picture of two boats, okay? So there you have your two boats, and you're thinking, well, what's that about? Well, if you imagine that you are one boat, you're sitting in one boat, and someone you love or care for is in the other boat, okay? And they've got an issue, they've got a problem, and they've got something that's really, really bad happening to them at that time, okay? Someone you care about. And they're sinking, they're going down, there they go. They've got a hole in their boat and they're going down, okay? You don't put a hole in your boat just to join them. That means you don't feel everything that they're feeling. If we put a hole in our boat, we are going down the same time as them. Oh yes, it's company for each other, but it's not going to help anything. You need to be the boat without the hole. Now, what I mean by that is, that doesn't mean you don't care about this person that's sinking. It means that you can throw down ropes of love, support, hope. You can throw down positive feelings. You can entice that person to come up again to the surface. So what you're going to do is you've got to imagine that you are the boat without the hole, and you're going to stay there. Because that way, that person that is sinking has got somewhere to come up to, okay? You need to be the person that's objective and not feeling every feeling that that person is feeling as they sink. It's so easy to do with family members, people you love, your children. Most people do it with their children. I've done it with mine several times. Don't be the boat with a hole, okay? This is really important. You can throw down love, support. You can throw down hope and positive thoughts and faith and trust that they're going to come up to the surface again. Even in the most dramatic situations, even in situations where you're really worried, 10 out of 10 worry. And I've been there. I know I used to be the world's best worrier. I could worry about everything. But sometimes you have situations in your family where because you love somebody, you're involved and you want to help them. But without realizing it, what you're doing is you are worrying about them, okay? Now, worry might seem okay to do. You think, well, I'm supposed to worry because I care. No, you can be proactive, you can help somebody, but you must be objective, okay? You can do what you can, but feeling every single feeling that they are feeling is not going to help you. What it does is it shuts down your main battery, and I'm always going on about this. Here it is, your main battery is your base chakra, and it shuts this down. When you worry, your thought of, oh, I hope he or she is going to be okay. I hope they're going to be, survive even sometimes in situations. If you have those feelings, excuse me, I've got itchy fringe. If you have a situation where family members, friends, as I say, have got a really intense worrying situation, you're going to naturally feel it because you love them or care for them. That thought goes down here. It shuts this one off. This is your main battery, keeps your body well. Now, that's not going to help anybody for you to do that. And if you do this exercise, this one will help to open and stay well. This is what you need to do. You need to be well for that person. And also it helps your crown as well. So these two areas here are very good when you do this. It's very good for them. So it's really important that we just visualize two boats, okay? And every time you feel as if you are going to be involved and you're up late at night, you're not sleeping properly because of it, it's in your thoughts. You know you've got a hole in your boat. If you are thinking about that person again and again, and perhaps the next couple of hours, again, that person comes into your head, you're worried about them. And you can separate the worry from the care. That's the funny thing. You can still care every bit like you do for that person in any way you can help them. That's great. But not feeling as if you are going to be sinking as well. Because when we do that, we are asking for trouble. Physically, emotionally, we're asking for trouble. Okay, we have to stop that. Because we're going to, for 3 different reasons, we're going to cause a problem that worry begets more worry. It seems to be that what we're thinking about, we attract, as we know, by the law of attraction. That is not a good thing. It means that everywhere you look, there'll be more worrying situations, and it doesn't help you physically either, because it helps, as I say, locks down those chakras. That's not good if they shrink. They need to be working away from your body, happy and flowing, for you to be well. And so physically, emotionally, mentally, you're forming synapses in your mind that get used to worry, and that pathway, the more you do that, the more the pathway gets more and more established. And you don't want that. You want to break away from worry. So what I did when I had a situation with this, I had a family member very, very, very ill, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I had to, a very close family member, I had to make sure that my boat had no hull. It was really hard at first, because you think, well, what would happen if? And then we tend to think about what would happen if something bad happened, or if they really do sink to the bottom, what would happen? How would I feel? How would I get over that? How would I live without that person, or whatever? Even if it's a minor issue, it can still have the same effect where you're sinking, or a major one. So, okay, there you are in your boat. You've got to stay in the moment. What can I do? I can throw down, I can offer everything I can. But I'm going to be objective, and I'm going to sit here in this boat waiting for them to come up. And many, many times I've done this with different people I care about, and I have stayed positive. I've stayed with that mindful, they're going to be okay, that faith, that trust. I replaced worry with trust. Now you might think, I don't know if I can do that. Well, give it a go. See how it goes. What you're going to do is just imagine you're in the boat waiting for them to come back up. It's a nice visualization. There you are, in the boat. They're in their boat, they're sinking, but you're going to wait for them to come up. And while you're doing that, there's no hole in your boat. No hole in my boat is what I want you to do. If you do that, as I say, physically, emotionally, mentally, and by the law of attraction, you are more likely to attract good health and a solution to that problem. You should find that person. Well, most of the time I found, the person that you're worried about tends to get better, and then you're thinking, or if they're not better, they certainly improve a bit, or you don't feel, you feel like you have more energy to help them because you haven't got a hole in your boat. So for lots of reasons, to help them, you have to be objective, and you have to stay there with blind faith. It's going to be okay. With determination, there's no hole in your boat, because how many times have we sunk down with other people and we've gone, yes, empathy, but you can have empathy and sympathy for somebody, but don't feel everything they're feeling. It isn't good for you. It's bad for you. And it's bad for them as well, by the way, because they feel the vibe. And when this particular family member came back to me after he was okay, he said, I'm really sorry, I must have worried you. And I said, no, there's no hole in my boat. So that person now feels that they can come back to me again and again if they need to. So that's another good reason why you can do this. It's a form of strength when you're detached. You're going to stay there in that place, and you're going to think, right, I'm just not going to be down at the bottom of that pond. So, and even if that goes on a long time, just keep reminding yourself, because when you're telling yourself, there's no hole in my boat, you're setting a very strong intention to your subconscious mind. And everyone knows I talk about how amazing that is. We are talking and feeling and communicating here on a conscious level, 3%. 97% is subconscious. And so what you're feeling is, when you're dropping this in, you're feeling, it's going to be okay. Even if your conscious brain goes, yeah, but. Underneath the surface, you're telling yourself it's okay. I'm staying here. It's going to be fine. That person's coming up and everything's going to be all right. That's what you need to remember. So I give this to my clients and they love it. and they remember it all the time. As soon as they got a situation where they're aware that they're consumed with a worry about somebody they love, okay? Physically, emotionally, whatever you're worried about with them, imagine that that's gone and they come back up and everything's fine again. So I wrote myself notes here so I wouldn't forget. But yeah, keep throwing down love support. Imagine you're throwing down a rope. That's quite nice. Yes, as I say, it helps your body, it helps your mind. What would really help you, actually, is if you were to get yourself a picture, okay, or you can just take a picture of this maybe. Someone's making noise outside. So if you can get a picture of perhaps two boats, or draw pictures, draw a picture of a boat, you know, maybe with a sail, and just write underneath it, no hole in my boat. That would do the world a good, because if you put that somewhere where you can see it, then what you've got is a reminder, a little reminder just to show you that that's what you're choosing to do. I give this out as homework, by the way, to people because they love it, and it helps them to stay well, physically, emotionally, mentally. Otherwise, you're overwhelmed with things. I mean, imagine if you go on for a long period of time where you are worried consistently about somebody, you're just going to be dragged down. And everyone knows that feeling. We just don't need to do it again and again. We just have to be aware of it. And as soon as you're aware, think, no, the boat. No hole in my boat. So that has always worked for my friends and family, and it's worked for anyone I've ever been concerned about. And I love people. I get very happy helping people. It's very difficult sometimes. You think, well, I've been doing that for years. I've always worried about people. But for some people, it takes time to adjust. But quite often, people that have tried this have found that after just a couple of times saying it, they feel safer, they feel happier, they feel trust, they feel faith. As I say, faith is really a good one. To have faith that that person is going to somehow pull through and come up to the surface. So it's very simple. Most of my exercises are, and they're all coming from the book The Choice Is Mine, that I will eventually write. I'm sort of got the ideas, and when I get your feedback from these, then they become something that I can use. If I get the feedback, I can get an idea of what tools work best for you and why. I know they work on me, and I've made them all up for me, of course. But if you can come back to me and tell me how you feel when you do this, okay? No hole in my boat. I always use it when there's a situation around me that I know will drag me down, and I cannot and will not afford for that energy to go down. It doesn't serve me or my family or my world. You know, you don't have to get ill to prove you care about somebody, okay? In fact, you've got to stay well for them. So anyway, so that's enough of that. I think we've finished everything on that subject. Think about how you can use it maybe. Just draw yourself a little picture and think, how can I use this? How can I use this little picture? I'm just going to remind me. I'll put it on your phone. You can put it on your phone. That would be a good one. Then you know that every time perhaps there's a screensaver. Screensaver, there you go. Put it on your phone or your computer as a screensaver and think, okay, am I worried about anybody? Am I thinking about mum, dad, friends, son, daughter? And yes, care for them, but don't allow worry. Don't allow worry into your mind, your body, or your life, because it's just going to attract more of it. Make you feel like rubbish. So you can't have that. And we need you well, don't we? So, as I say, join me again next week for another Nan Talk. The Nan Talk for next week is going to be about orange juice. And that's about how people can squeeze a reaction out of us that we didn't even know was laying dormant inside. That's going to be quite interesting. And how we can change and use that opportunity to change ourselves. Okay? So that's orange juice next week. Also, I've got a sort of a blog on my website that's called Tea with Nan. And every Monday on Facebook, I will be having an informal cup of tea with you and prescribing different Nan Talks that I've done so far and presented on here for different conditions and feelings that you might have. And so next Monday, the following, I don't know the date of next Monday, but anyway, the Monday is going to be about depression. So if you want to catch me live on that, if not, you can just look back on my website and it will be on the blog. So have fun with that. Depression, hard subject, but I've got certain talks that will help to certainly lift depression a little. I do a lot of work on that with my clients. And so if you're interested in that subject, then feel free to join me on the Monday, or as I say, catch up on my website. Orange juice next week. And as I say, no hole in my boat. Have fun with that. Yes, have fun with that. I'm sure you're going to. There's lots of people that are worried at the moment, so about different people, different situations. Just think of that. You can even have that as a situation, by the way, not just a person. I'm worried about that situation. And then it goes down. You feel dragged down. Take your boat here, leave it here, and imagine the situation heals itself. Good. Okay, well, I think that's enough for today. Hope you come and join me next week and maybe enjoy yourself a little boat. Put it on the, or just remind yourself somehow, okay? Because it's a really good thing for you to do for yourself. It's showing your self-value when you do this. And it's helping other people too. And just before I go, just to remind you that when you are doing this exercise, you're giving out a very strong vibe. A very strong and powerful I'm in control vibe. That alone is going to help people around you. It's something you'll feel and they'll feel. So do it for that reason as well. Right, so I think it's a namaste moment again, and I will see you next week. Have lots of fun with your homework. Let me know how you get on if you want to. You can contact me on the website. And have a lovely week until I see you next. All right, take care, everybody. Lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Bye.